Good morning, beautiful people. It's a beautiful day. It's Thursday. So it's time for me to do my weekly walk that talk, you know. And today's a special one because it's one of the best lessons I've learned, honestly. I think it's a lot of the reason why I'm doing as well as I'm doing in life. When only a few years ago, I wasn't doing that great. I wasn't doing too bad. I was off to drugs, For those that don't know, I was a drug addict for 23 years straight. I've been to prison multiple times. I've been to jail too many times to count. I've lived on the streets. I've been shot 5 times. I've been stabbed. I used to be a gangbanger. I went through a lot of bullshit. I put myself through a lot of bullshit. And now my life is really good. And I am the proof that no matter what you've been through, you can always change. You can always decide to do better. And today I'm going to talk about some of the tools that I use to do that. And the main one, this is like one of the main tools I've ever been, is identifying the type of person that I wanted to become. So many people don't do this, and it really gets you stuck in a rut in life, because the truth is, if you don't have a destination in mind, then you don't know which way to go. You will get lost. You will get lost in the drift of life. It's so easy to be distracted by the things that get in your way if you don't have a designated point to get to. That means that you need to take time to write down the type of person that you want to become. Just like writing down a goal, you want to write down what that type of person would be. What kind of honor would that person have? How does that person treat people? What kind of house does that person live in? What kind of health does that person have? What's the spiritual connection of that person? And if you don't know how to get there, then you need to find other people that have done it before you so that you can kind of follow their trails. It makes it a lot easier, because here's what I've learned about getting to a new destination on trails that you haven't traveled before. And it's the same way that your neural pathways in your brain work. See, you've been traveling the same trail for most of your life, because humans are habitual creatures, and the trail that you travel is probably a road by now, because you've beaten it down so much by walking over all the weeds and the growth and the things that used to be there before you traveled it. So it makes that path way easy to travel. So it's way easier to fall back in that old path than it is to keep blazing that new one. That's why addiction is such a hard habit to break, because your mind knows it gets a dopamine rush when it travels those old paths that you've been traveling. So when you try to change it and things go wrong, your mind immediately goes back to that old pathway, and you want to go back to using. But here's the trick. It's not easy. But when you blaze a new pathway, you're going to be going through weeds, you're going to be going over rocks, you're going to be going around trees, because you haven't been down that pathway before, and probably nobody has, except for maybe the people that you look up to, that you know have traveled that way, that you can follow their example. But they're not going to show you the exact way to go through. You're still going to have to go through some brush, you're still going to have to go through some weeds, you're still going to have to go through whatever the hell is in the way to get you there. There's always going to be things in the way. But I'm here to tell you right now, it's going to be hard. But the more you travel that path, the more it clears away the weeds, the more it beats down the path, the more easy it makes that path, because you're traveling it. A well-traveled path is always easier to travel, just like your old path. So when life gets hard, you got to keep reading the specifications of the type of person that you want to become in the future. What that type of person is, as I said earlier, you need to take the time, not just think it in your head, oh, I want to be this kind of person, because human minds don't work that way. We space things off. We get caught in the moment, just like when you're going down a path and there's a big tree and a bunch of rocks in the way. Your natural wanting is going to be to stop or to go a different way. You're not going to want to go over those rocks. But sometimes you might need to go over those rocks, and you don't know unless you're looking at that goal, that end goal, the type of person that you want to become, because maybe that person is on the other side of those rocks. But you're not going to know unless you specify what that person is. So if you really want to make your life better, man, this is one of the greatest tools you can do. Write out a mission statement. Write out a description of what it is you want to achieve, what type of person that you want to be, and read it. I'm not saying just read it once. I read my mission statement all the time. Like this morning, that's one of the things that inspired me to do this talk today, this specific talk, because I was looking at all the many notepads that I've been writing in over the last few years, specifying where I want to go, specifying the things that I've learned that'll get me to that place. Basically, the trail, showing me where the trail is, which way to walk. So if you really want to make your life better and you want to become the best version of you, and I'm telling you right now, the world needs it right now. This is a crazy time we live in. It's election year. There's so much hate and disdain, and people are just rude and selfish and entitled. It's getting bad. We need the best you now more than ever. So please, do yourself a favor. Do the world a favor. Do your loved ones a favor, your children, your family, and do this. Write down the type of person that you want to become, what the ideal version of you would be, and read it often, every day if you can. It'll keep you on the path that you need to be on to become that best version of you. I want to see it. I want to see the best version of you. I'm working on the best version of me. It's a long path, but I'm getting better. I love you guys, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. And you know, without a doubt, I'll be back for more of these. Peace.